Jared, go ahead and take it away.
What is happening? Wow. Thank you, Tony. You get me pumped up every time. I'm
You
like
too,
fired
brother.
up right now. I'm ready for 2025. I'm out of here. Let's go. All right. I'm supposed to be talking what? About mindset for 2025? You just nailed it all on the head. I mean, geez, I can't follow that.
You own that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, I think everything you say, like this is good for everybody to get fired up. Mindset is like, to me, is where everything starts. If you don't have the right mind, might as well just go back and watch Netflix and lay in bed because you're not going to get very far. Rates and mortgage, everybody's talking about rates and what's happening right now and what their focal points are. We don't care about that. Our job is to help people and offer a professional service, a very professional service by helping people with their finances. So I think one of the biggest things you said as far as awaken your business, I think more importantly, awaken yourself right now. Like snap out of it, wake up, revamp, reflect on what you've done, but don't dwell on what you've done. Go forward into next year with what are you going to do? One of the things you said, what's your professional standard? For me, outwork everyone else. That's my goal. I'll outwork anybody. And I love the challenge to try to come up against somebody to do it. So for me, I'm going to outwork everybody I can. I had this in a meeting yesterday and I said, I don't want gossip. I don't care about all this stuff. I'm not a very smart guy. So I'm just going to dumb all that stuff out, be stupid, and just put my head down and outwork everybody else. So yeah, mindset. Why does it matter? Let's see. Going into next year, I mean, right now, I think everybody's like, if you're thinking about December right now, get that out of your head. First off, we're in the long-term mortgage business. We think 2, 3, 6 months into the future, right? So hopefully we're planning on what is Q1 going to look like for me right now. November's, what are we, quarter way through? Done. End of the year's done. Think about next year. We're focusing on what we're going to do, how we're going to grow. I've said this a lot of times too. What I like is bigger problems. And we get these little problems here. I mean, like I'll tell you right now, we have a problem. About a month and a half ago, we had a lot of submissions come in and we floated them because the market's going to get better, right? And we just realized that we have a big problem of a pretty decent pipeline that's not locked, which is great. I love it. I mean, I don't love the fact that they're not locked, but I know that if I can capture or save 70% of those or whatever the case is, I'm going to learn a valuable lesson. I'm going to go back. I'm going to change my SOPs and my procedures of how I do things, right? Because we were like, okay, and setting up your procedures is important how you're going to operate, right? But
Jared, I got a quick question. What do you think the average mortgage loan originator has standard operating procedures like you do?
No, absolutely not. I think most people wing it. And I think most people are kind of like a lot of real estate agents the same way, where they're just out there. There's not really a plan. They're just trying to capture a deal here and there when they get it, and they just put it in and they point the finger at everybody else. And I think that's part of the reason that there's more people that are not as successful as they should be, and a few that are very successful that actually have a process, and whatever that process is. I mean, your process could be, I have an LOA that's constantly prospecting for me and setting 15-minute time blocks where I just go over and I talk to everybody in those 15 minutes, and I could talk to 4 people an hour, and then I could push it back, and then they could get the disclosures and everything else. And I'm that high dollar. I'm worth a lot at that point, right? Because I'm the main contact that's going through it. So going back to that, it's like, yeah, what are you worth? That's a big thing too. I have it on my wall. I love all my quotes. Get better what you're good at and delegate your weakness. Like if I'm good at talking to people, I should probably talk to more people.
What is your greatest strength, Jared?
Everything. Just joking. I mean, I
humility.
think, yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I think being a leader to my team and in our branch here is something I'm really good at. I like being able to oversee and not afraid to jump in, get my hands dirty and do it. But more importantly, my greatest feature, I think, is wanting people to succeed. My biggest frustration is when I want it more than they want it. Because I will want everybody to be successful, but not everybody wants to be successful or balanced or whatever the case is, or learn or get better. So, yeah, going back to that, I mean, having your procedures in place of how you do things and then knowing how to adapt and pivot them when you need to is very important. You have to have some kind of plan, and you have to be willing to adapt to that plan. And if you've been doing it as long as me and most of us probably have, you're going to have to adapt and pivot even quicker going in the future, because the world goes a lot quicker and we got technologies and big companies and everything else. So don't be afraid to go all in on your business model. And also don't be afraid to make tweaks and adjustments and change it when you need to. And I think there's a fine line on the balance of that, right? Like some people change things every day, every week, and they never are at a level to be able to know if it actually worked. And other people are still doing the same thing they did back in 2001, and it doesn't work. So you have to have that balance, and you have to know what you're going to do. Like I have an acronym I use like later. It's like learn something, apply something, test something, and then go ahead and repeat that thing, right? That's kind of how I live with everything we do with our technologies, with our marketing strategies, with our operating procedures, with our team. And it's just something that's always worked for me. But if you just learn it and you don't apply it, then you're not going to get there. And if you apply it, but you don't actually test and look at the results of what you're doing, then you're not going to know if it's working or not, right? So to me, that's super important. Going into 2025, things to think about, strategies to think about, things that you're going to put down on paper that you're going to stick with, that you will not be afraid to go back and reflect and make changes or adjustments that you need to. Let's see, what else? 2025, baby. All right.
Give people 2 nuggets, LOs, 2 nuggets, or realtors 2 nuggets right now to help them close 3 to 5 more deals more next year.
I mean, the first one, I know Johnny will like this one. Talk to more people. Just talk to more people. Like so many people sit there and talk to their 3 to 5 or 10 networking people only, or groups or whatever, right? Like you need to get out there and be everywhere, you know, whether you're in social media, whether you're in networking groups, whether you're consumer direct, you need to talk to more people. You could reverse engineer any kind of metrics that you get. But if you're only talking, and unfortunately I see this with a lot of people, is that literally they're like relying on 3 to 5 people for their entire business. Their family relies on what 3 to 5 other people do. So my first nugget on that is get out there and talk to more people. Yeah, I say this all the time. Another one on my wall, your life is your fault. If I don't go talk to more people and I don't succeed, that's on me. Take responsibility and either change it or find something else, right, to do. So the biggest thing there is, like I said, just talk to more people. Know that you're going to have to, reach out to more than you have in the past. In fact, if you do what you did in the past and the market is not giving you the love that it did in the past, you're going to be in a declining model, right? So I see some people say like, oh, I'm doing exactly what so-and-so does. Why is he doing so much better, or she's doing so much better? Well, they've been doing it for 10 years longer than you. You have to, it's like you're trying to race somebody and they're already a mile ahead of you. You have to do better. You have to go faster to catch up to them and or beat them, right? So don't try to compare yourself to somebody else who might have been doing something different or better, right? Like I'm not going to compare myself to a great networker when I'm a consumer direct guy. I just know I'm not that good at it, right? And they probably wouldn't be doing what I do, right? So we all have our own strategies that we do, and our own models that we work under that we want to do to be successful. Find what works for you. Apply it, go 100%. The second thing I would say is make sure, and I'm going to say this because I know most of us don't do it, or we do it once in a while, but take that 5 minutes at the end of every day, meditate, pray, whatever, reflect on what you did. What's your good? What's your bad? What do you need to do better? Like
assess.
Assess what you have. I mean, a lot of us put down our phone for the day and go and, do whatever, go watch some Netflix or whatever the case is, but you need to take some time. You need to reflect and you need to plan, right? Like, if you're going to wing it, you're going to get winging results. If you're going to plan it out, you're going to get results that you can actually monitor, metrics that you can use for yourself, personal metrics, right? Same thing with anything in your life, right? Like if I'm doing too much work and I'm not giving enough time to my family and I'm causing problems there, I need to go back and say, what do I need to change? What do I need to pivot? So business is life to me. They're all kind of the same thing. You kind of use everything the same or follow it the same way, but you need to be out there. And if you want to do more, you want to do better, you want to be prepared, you want to get ahead of tech and big companies and what are people doing, and you want to have a unique value proposition of yourself that makes you different than those people, then you need to actually go out there and take action and do stuff. And it's as simple as that. There's not to complicate it. Just do more.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for being on today. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Jared Rogers out of California. Let's thank him.